Parashat Ekev. And the Torah says, V'haya Ekev tishme'un. If we Jews are concerned to keep those commandments that, quote unquote, we deem insignificant and like a side dish, if even those were meticulous and careful to carry them out, then the Torah this week's promises us health, many children, wealth, security, peace, all the blessings. So the great Gaon, Rav Aaron Kotler in Mishnah, Rav Aaron says that this idea is also talked about in the ethics of our fathers, Pirkei Avot. It says, Havez zahir b'mitzvah kalla kechamura. Be careful to carry out a mitzvah that you think is simple and elementary as the one that you think is fundamental, because we don't know the reward. Maybe that mitzvah that you think is, heaven forbid, insignificant, and maybe we could just brush it off and, brush it under the carpet, we could overlook it. Maybe that mitzvah is more fundamental and more rewarding and will bring you more blessing and luck from the Almighty than the mitzvah that in your eyes is, that's where we need to focus on. No, you don't know. So we have to, the Torah is not like a salad bar that we can pick and choose what we like. We have to try to keep the whole thing. And especially the ones that everybody smashes under their feet with their heel, like the crumbs on the floor. Those mitzvot that people just are careless about and not careful about, if those we keep, there's an awesome amount of showering blessings. So Rav Aaron says, what exactly are these mitzvahs? Specifically, what are these mitzvahs that everybody tends to overlook and not be so careful about? So Rav Aaron says that these mitzvot are really the midot, like jealousy or laziness. Okay, I'm a little bit lazy, what's the big deal? Or okay, I'm a little bit jealous, what's so horrible? Everybody's that way. And specifically today, I wanted to talk about one very, very bad attribute, characteristic, and that is the obsession with luxury, indulgence. There's a, Rav Aaron brings over here on page Kuf Chaf Aleph in Mishnah Rav Aaron, there's a Tosefta in the end of Menachot that says that the second temple was destroyed. Why? Even though they were toiling in Torah and they gave tzedakah, what was the inner destruction, the deficiency inside them that caused the temple to be destructed? Because they were obsessed, they loved money and luxury more than anything else, and they had baseless hatred. So the baseless hatred we knew, but a lot of people are not familiar with this Tosefta that says, now you could ask me, Rabbi, we live in Beverly Hills, we're living in Southern California with Malibu and Beverly Hills and Brentwood. What's so horrible of having a lavish affair, throwing a lavish wedding, having the most deluxe and 5-star home, having the most luxurious home, and showing off? So this is what I want to speak about, because this is really what I believe in my heart of hearts, what's destroying our Persian community, and this is what the Torah is telling us. Sometimes the truth is hard to swallow. But see, this small thing that we could just brush under the carpet is much, much more dangerous than you can imagine. Because look, when the entire community is obsessed with showing off and having the most deluxe and lavish and luxury and fancy schmancy lifestyle, first of all, what happens is that we have to become workaholics. I studied to be a CPA, and in the end of the day, if you can't pay your bills, they're going to come take away your house, your car, and everything else you have. So when we make the ceiling very high, that we have to have a super, live in the most fancy neighborhood and have more rooms in our house that we could count or that we even need, what happens is this lifestyle causes us that we don't have much time to invest in ourselves, in studying Torah, because when you have to work 10 hours a day, like I know so many people, then how could you study an hour or two at least? A Jew should be studying the Torah at least an hour or two every day. See, when we put emphasis on the material, almost automatically and inevitably, we have much less time to focus on the spiritual of coming to shul. Because and even more than that, what happens is the person, he's so focused on his career and on his business, because he has to make all this money, he can't spend time with his kids, he can't spend time with himself. This causes a lot of people to not keep Shabbat. Why? Because I need to pay $10,000 a mortgage every month. I need to pay a $1,200 payment on my Bentley. So then I'm going to open on Shabbat. So this innocent thing that you think, oh, obsession with luxury, no, Ekev. That you think is insignificant, it's much more significant, because maybe even subconsciously, it's going to cause you to have a lifestyle where, well, I know Shabbat is one of the 10 commandments, but I have to pay my bills because of jealousy, and because your cousin or whoever, your friend from high school, your colleague has such a fancy house, you want to have that. And it's even worse than that. What happens is we don't have time to study Torah, we don't have time to Kenisa, to keep Shabbat, to pray, and then we don't study Torah, we don't rejuvenate our soul. And believe me, when we don't study the Torah, we cannot carry it out properly. But even worse than that, what happens is the entire standard becomes so high that a young man that's beginning to start his life, he gets rejected by so many different women because he's not good enough for them. He's not rich enough. He like somebody told me, the guy came to a date with a Jaguar. She said, if next time you don't upgrade and come with a Mercedes, I don't want to see you anymore. And this is ridiculous. Life is about love. Life is about giving. Life is about the things that money can't buy. Of course, we're not saying a person shouldn't work hard and provide a comfortable life for his family, but the obsession that we must have the latest and greatest and being show off. Believe me, a Honda and a Camry can get to you when you're going, and this causes a spiritual holocaust, because people have a capacity only to a certain level. When a person starts getting lonely and depressed because so many Jewish women, Japs, Jewish American princesses are rejecting him, then God forbid, it could open that terrible Holocaust, that most tragic decision to marry a non-Jew. But where did this all begin? From that little small, innocent desire to be super obsessed with having the most deluxe and fanciful and lavish lifestyle. So may Hashem help us to realize. Never underestimate the midot. Realize that it's wrong, it's against our values, because what's inside our soul matters much more than what's outside. All this money and honor and prestige, we don't take it with us. And when Hashem realizes that we value even those mitzvot, those midot, those characteristics that we may overlook, then Be'ezat Hashem we merit to